Welcome back to another exciting episode where we uncover the history, the beauty, and the incredible value of some of the most fascinating coins ever produced in American history. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, the 1935 no-mint mark Buffalo nickel, also known as the 1935 Buffalo 5-cent coin. This coin may look like just another nickel to the average eye, but to collectors, historians, and investors it holds a story of artistry, of heritage, and of surprising value. In fact, the current market value of the 1935 no-mint mark Buffalo nickel can reach as high as $32,765 depending on its condition, rarity, and demand. That is enough to change a simple pocket change discovery into a life-changing find. So stay with me until the end, because we are going to explore everything from the design, the history, the production, the controversies, the grading, the demand, and finally the current market value of this legendary coin. To begin, let us first step back in time to understand the world in which the 1935 Buffalo nickel was created. The United States in the 1930s was still recovering from the devastating impact of the Great Depression. Jobs were scarce, banks were failing, and the government was searching for ways to restore faith in the economy. Yet, even during this difficult time, the U.S. Mint continued its work of producing coins for everyday commerce. In 1935, the nickel had already become one of the most heavily used coins in circulation, and the design at the time was the iconic Buffalo nickel, which had been introduced in 1913. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was the brainchild of sculptor James O. Fraser. He wanted to design a coin that truly captured the spirit and identity of the American West. On one side, he created the portrait of a Native American chief, a strong, dignified face that represented not just one individual, but a composite image of several Native American leaders he had studied. On the reverse side, he placed the mighty American bison, commonly called the buffalo, which had roamed the plains in uncountable numbers during the early days of America. By 1935, however, the great buffalo herds had already been reduced to near extinction, and the design carried both pride and a hint of sorrow for a disappearing way of life. The 1935 Buffalo nickel with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike nickels produced in Denver or San Francisco, which bear the D or S mint marks, the Philadelphia coins carried no identifying letter. That absence of a mint mark is what makes the coin distinct. While millions of Buffalo nickels were produced throughout the series, not all survived in pristine condition. Circulation wore them down quickly, especially since the design included raised details on both the Native American portrait and the buffalo, which made them susceptible to heavy wear. Now let us talk about the production numbers. In 1935, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 58 million Buffalo nickels. On the surface, that seems like a large number, but over time, with circulation melting and attrition, the number of high-grade surviving pieces has shrunk dramatically. This is the reason why collectors today are willing to pay premium prices for examples in mint state condition with full details intact. A circulated coin from this year may fetch only a few dollars, but one preserved in mint state with sharp detail, brilliant luster, and minimal marks can reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. That is where the $32,765 market value comes into play. Collectors prize the 1935 no-mint mark Buffalo nickel for several reasons. First, it represents the later years of the Buffalo nickel series, which ended in 1938 when the Jefferson nickel design replaced it. This means that the 1935 issue is one of the final runs of this beloved design. Second, the artistry of James O. Fraser makes the coin not just money but also a piece of miniature sculpture. Third, the difficulty of finding well-preserved examples adds rarity value even though the mintage was high. Finally, the historical period of the 1930s during the Great Depression adds a layer of significance, since every coin from that era represents struggle, endurance, and hope. Now let us go into more detail about the design itself, because design is one of the main reasons this coin is considered so special. On the obverse you will see the proud Native American profile. Fraser explained that he combined features from 3 different Native American chiefs, including Iron Tail, 2 moons, and possibly Big Tree. The result is a face that radiates strength, courage, and dignity. Above the portrait is the word Liberty, and below it is the date 1935. If you have ever held a buffalo nickel in your hand, you will notice how quickly the date wears away, which is another reason why well-struck coins from 1935 are so valuable today. On the reverse of the coin is the powerful buffalo standing proudly on a mound. Collectors often debate whether the model for this buffalo was a bison named Black Diamond who lived at the Central Park Zoo in New York. Whether or not this is fully true, the buffalo on the coin stands as a symbol of the untamed American frontier. Above the animal you see United States of America and the national motto E Pluribus Unum. Below you will find the denomination 5 cents. On the 1935 no-mint mark coin, the design is well balanced and deeply struck when preserved in mint state, which adds to the beauty and appeal for collectors. As we move deeper into the story, we must talk about grading, because grading determines value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin. A 1935 buffalo nickel that grades in the lower circulated ranges might bring only a small premium over face value. However, when the coin grades mint state 65 or higher with sharp strike and clean surfaces, that is when the big money comes in. The finest known examples have sold for over $30,000, with the record value reaching $32,765 in recent auctions. It is fascinating to think about how a 5-cent coin produced during the depths of the Great Depression can be worth so much today. Imagine someone in 1935 using this nickel to buy a loaf of bread or a small bag of apples, never knowing that nearly a century later the very same coin could be worth more than a brand new car. That is the magic of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. Every coin tells a story, not just of its metal but of the people who used it, the hands it passed through, and the events of its time. Now let us touch on the collector market today. The Buffalo Nickel series remains one of the most popular series for both beginner and advanced collectors. People are drawn to it because of its artistry, its historical importance, and its affordability in lower grades combined with its great value in higher grades. The 1935 no-mint mark is particularly attractive because it is still obtainable for most collectors in circulated condition, but it also offers the possibility of extreme rarity and value in mint state. This dual nature makes it exciting. In recent years, as more people have become interested in tangible assets like coins, precious metals, and collectibles, the demand for high-grade buffalo nickels has surged. Auction houses often report bidding wars when pristine examples come to market. Even if you are not a seasoned collector, holding a piece of history like the 1935 buffalo nickel connects you to the past in a way few other objects can. As we come toward the conclusion, let us reflect on the journey of this coin. From its creation in 1935 at the Philadelphia Mint to its circulation across the nation during hard economic times, to its survival through decades of wear, and finally to its place today as a treasured collectible, the 1935 no-mint mark buffalo nickel stands as a symbol of American resilience, art, and value. So, the next time you come across an old nickel, do not dismiss it as just spare change. Look closely at the details, check the date, and see if it could be a buffalo nickel from 1935. Who knows, you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. And if you ever come across one in pristine condition, you could be looking at a coin worth over $32,000. To sum it all up, the 1935 no-mint mark buffalo nickel is more than just a 5-cent coin. It is a piece of American history, a tribute to Native American heritage, a reminder of the frontier spirit, a survivor of the Great Depression, and a treasure in the world of coin collecting. Its current market value of $32,765 proves that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the greatest worth. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the history and value of the 1935 no-mint mark buffalo nickel. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and share so more people can learn about the fascinating stories hidden in the coins we carry every day. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep appreciating the history that lies in your pocket change. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1993 P Mint Mark half-dollar coin. This coin may look like just another piece of American change, but behind its design, its production, and its market history there is a story that connects to American culture, to numismatic passion, and to the world of rare coin collecting. The 1993 P half-dollar coin belongs to the Kennedy half-dollar series, which started in 1964 just after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the half-dollar coin was chosen as the denomination to honor him because it was large, bold, and symbolic, and the design was quickly approved by Congress within just weeks of his death in 1963. The obverse, or the front of the coin, features the left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy designed by Gilroy Roberts, who was the chief engraver of the United States Mint at that time. The portrait was a refined version of the inaugural medal that Roberts had designed for Kennedy before he took office. On the reverse side of the half-dollar we see the presidential seal, which was created by Frank Gasparro, another famous engraver at the Mint. This seal shows a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch in one claw and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. By the year 1993, the Kennedy half-dollar was already a coin with a long history behind it, but something about the 1993 Philadelphia Mint strike makes it stand out in collectors' markets. Most half-dollars produced during the 1990s were not widely circulated in the general public. Unlike pennies, nickels, and dimes, the half-dollar had fallen out of regular circulation since the 1970s. The reason was that most banks and businesses no longer used them on a daily basis, yet the Mint still continued to produce them for collectors, for proof sets, and for the occasional general issue. The Philadelphia Mint marked its coins with the letter P since 1980, and the 1993 half-dollar carries this mint mark as well. On the obverse just below Kennedy's neck you will see the small P symbolizing its origin from the Philadelphia Mint. This makes it clear that the coin belongs to the modern era of minting, where all Philadelphia-produced coins except cents carry a mint mark. Now let us talk about why the 1993 P half-dollar coin has become so remarkable to collectors, and why its current estimated market value in rare conditions is an astonishing $76,678 in today's collector market. First, we must understand that the regular strike 1993 half-dollars are not rare. Millions of them were produced by the Mint. However, the real value comes from coins that are graded at the highest levels by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. For example, a coin that is graded MS67 or higher becomes extremely rare for this date, because most coins struck in 1993 came out with small imperfection, scratches, or contact marks from the minting process. Finding a flawless or near-flawless coin is very difficult. Numismatists or coin experts always look for strike quality, luster, and preservation when judging half-dollars from the 1990s. The 1993 P half-dollar is no exception. When a coin shows brilliant surfaces, no marks, sharp details, and strong luster, it becomes a true gem, and collectors are willing to pay massive premiums for it. This is where the incredible value of $76,678 enters the picture, because in auction records coins of this date in top grade have commanded extraordinary sums. Collectors fight hard to secure such examples for their collections, and the price keeps climbing each year as more and more people realize just how rare these top condition pieces are. The history of coin collecting itself plays a role here. Half-dollars have always had a special place in American coinage. When silver was removed from circulating coins in 1971, and the Kennedy half-dollar became clad, many people lost interest in using them, but serious collectors never stopped paying attention. They continued to study die varieties, minting errors, and grade rarity in every year, including 1993. Some of the known errors and varieties for the 1993 P half-dollar include double dies, weak strikes, and off-center strikes. Each of these minting errors can raise the value dramatically. A regular 1993 half-dollar may only be worth a few dollars in circulated condition, but if it has an unusual error combined with high-grade quality, then suddenly the price skyrockets into the thousands, and in rare cases into the tens of thousands. Collectors also pay attention to proof-like surfaces and full-struck details. The 1993 half-dollar coins from Philadelphia are sometimes found with weakly struck hair details on Kennedy's portrait, or flat eagle feathers on the reverse, but when one is perfectly struck, showing every hair strand, every feather, and every letter sharply, that coin instantly becomes a treasure. Now let us consider the wider history of half-dollars to fully appreciate the 1993 issue. The half-dollar denomination has been part of American coinage since the early days of the Mint, starting with the flowing hair design in 1794. Throughout the years, the half-dollar featured draped bust designs, capped bust designs, seated Liberty Barber halves, walking Liberty halves, Franklin halves, and finally the Kennedy design in 1964. Every series has its own story, its own charm, and its own rare dates. The Kennedy series has continued now for more than 50 years. and collectors often build complete sets from 1964 to present. The 1993P is one of the most desirable pieces in high grade within this long-running series. The question often arises, why would someone pay $76,678 for a coin that looks like others minted in the same year? The answer is rarity and condition. While millions were struck, the number of coins that survive in the absolute highest state of preservation is so tiny that it creates an extreme supply and demand imbalance. Thousands of collectors want one, but only a handful exist. This pushes the value into the stratosphere. The modern coin market also plays a role. Auctions, online platforms, and grading registries all fuel competition. Collectors today often build registry sets which are ranked by grading services. These sets compete to be the best in the world, and owning a top-grade 1993P half-dollar can give a collector a huge advantage in registry rankings, which in turn pushes people to pay record amounts for these coins. So when we say that the current market value of a top-graded 1993P half-dollar is $76,678, we are talking about coins that are virtually perfect, preserved since the day they left the mint, untouched by circulation, and carefully protected for decades. Now let us imagine holding such a coin in your hand, a gleaming piece of history struck in Philadelphia in 1993, more than 30 years ago. The coin looks brand new. The details on Kennedy's portrait shine with clarity. The eagle on the back looks as if it was just pressed from the die, and the fields reflect light with a mirror-like glow. Such a coin is not just currency, it is art, it is history, and it is an investment, all rolled into one for collectors who specialize in Kennedy half-dollars. The 1993P mint mark coin stands as a mountain peak. It is one of those coins that define the challenge and beauty of collecting, because it is easy to find common examples, but it is nearly impossible to find flawless ones. When you look at auction results, you can see how values have increased year after year. Coins that might have sold for thousands 20 years ago are now commanding tens of thousands today, and if the trend continues in the future, we may see these coins reach even higher numbers as demand continues to grow and supply remains fixed. The lesson from the 1993P half-dollar coin is that modern coins should never be underestimated. Many people think that only old coins from the 1800s or early 1900s can be valuable, but in truth, condition, rarity plays just as big a role as age, and that is why a coin from the 1990s can be worth more than $76,000 today. So whether you are a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, always remember to pay attention to quality, preserve your coins carefully, and learn about the history behind each piece. You might just discover that the change in your pocket could be hiding a small fortune, and there you have it, the story of the 1993P mint mark half-dollar coin, from its origins in the Kennedy series to its rise as one of the most valuable modern coins in high grade, worth an incredible $76,678 in the current market. It is a reminder that coins are not just money, they are living history, and they hold the power to connect us to the past while offering opportunities for the future. Welcome everyone to today's video, where we will dive deep into the story, history, and value of the 2013P mint mark $quarter coin. This coin has become one of the most fascinating pieces of modern American coinage, and collectors around the world are eager to learn everything about it. The journey of this quarter begins in the early part of the second decade of the 21st century, when the United States Mint was continuing one of its most ambitious programs in history, the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program began in 2010 and continued until 2021. Each year, the Mint released a series of quarters that honored national parks, historic sites, and monuments across the United States. The 2013 quarter series included 5 special designs: Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio, Great Basin National Park in Nevada, Fort McHenry National Monument in Maryland, Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota, and White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire. Each of these coins carried its own story, artistry, and symbolism, but what truly makes the 2013P mint mark $quarter stand out is its production history, rarity, condition, and value in today's collector's market. The P mint mark identifies the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint began striking coins in 1792, and since then has remained a central part of American coinage. By 2013, the mint had state-of-the-art technology, but even in a modern era, certain quarters produced there developed into rare and valuable treasures. The 2013 P quarter in particular has gained notoriety because examples in high-grade condition with sharp strikes and flawless surfaces are extremely limited. To understand the value of this coin, we need to look back at how many were struck and what made them different. In 2013, millions of quarters were minted at Philadelphia, but the vast majority entered circulation and suffered from where scratches and handling damage. Only a small number were preserved directly from the mint, or carefully saved by collectors before they could show signs of use. These pristine survivors, graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC, became the foundation of the coin's growing reputation. Collectors pay attention to every detail: the shine of the coin, the crispness of Washington's portrait, the details in the eagle, or in the design of the featured national park. All of these determine grade and value for the 2013 P quarter. The highest graded examples can command staggering prices. The current known market value has soared to $34,765 for an example in near perfect condition. Why would anyone pay such an incredible sum for a coin that originally had a face value of just 25 cents? The answer lies in rarity, historical context, and collector demand. The America the Beautiful program was a continuation of the State Quarters program, which had already proven extremely popular. Collectors who had invested years into completing sets were eager to obtain flawless coins from every year. When a year like 2013 produced fewer high-quality coins, it created intense competition among serious collectors and investors. Now let us go through the design elements and history behind each of the 2013 quarters, starting with White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire. This coin depicted a breathtaking view of Mount Chocorua surrounded by dense forest and clear skies. It was the first release of the year, and it represented the natural beauty of New England. The details of the trees and mountains are stunning when preserved in full strike condition, but when circulation dulls the lines, the value diminishes sharply. Next came Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio. This coin honored the Battle of Lake Erie and Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry's role in the War of 1812. The design featured the memorial column rising proudly, with a figure of Perry in the foreground. This coin captured American history in a powerful way and became a favorite for collectors interested in military heritage. The third design was the Great Basin National Park quarter from Nevada. Its artwork focused on the bristlecone pine tree, a species known for incredible longevity. Some of these trees live for thousands of years. The design was symbolic of endurance and resilience, which made it a fascinating subject for the coin program. Then came the Fort McHenry quarter from Maryland. This was one of the most patriotic quarters released in the program because Fort McHenry was the site where Francis Scott Key witnessed the battle that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner. The coin design showed the fort during the famous defense of 1814 with fireworks bursting overhead. It reminded Americans of their resilience and national pride. The final release of 2013 was Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. The design offered a unique perspective of the famous monument, showing workers adding detail to the faces of the presidents. It celebrated not only the monument itself but also the craftsmanship behind it. When you put all 5 designs together, the 2013 quarter series becomes a historic set honoring nature, monuments, history, and American pride. But the Philadelphia Mint Mark version is especially notable because of the unusual scarcity of top grade examples. Grading services have confirmed that finding a flawless 2013 P quarter is no easy task, and that scarcity drives collectors to pay enormous sums. Now let us talk more deeply about the grading process. Coins are evaluated based on a 70-point scale, with Mint State 60 being the lowest uncirculated grade and Mint State 70 being a perfect coin. The difference between a coin graded MS 66 and one graded MS 69 can mean thousands of dollars in value. For the 2013 P quarter, only a tiny fraction have reached the near perfect grade levels needed to command a price like $34,765. Auction records tell us that collectors are not hesitant to compete aggressively for these coins in major auctions. Bidders drive prices higher and higher when such rare examples appear. Often these auctions are the only chance for collectors to secure the coin they need to complete a set. For investors, coins like the 2013 P quarter represent more than just a collectible. They are also considered an asset that can appreciate over time. Just like rare art or antiques, these coins can gain value as demand increases and supply remains fixed. Another layer of fascination with this coin is the cultural context. Quarters are the most widely used coin denomination in daily American life. Nearly everyone has carried quarters in their pocket, purse, or wallet, yet within the ordinary circulation hides the possibility of extraordinary value. The idea that a simple 2013 quarter struck at the Philadelphia Mint could be worth over $34,000 sparks excitement for hobbyists and the general public alike. It makes people check their change, search their coin jars, and wonder if they might be holding a fortune. As we look deeper at the market today, collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins with great eye appeal, strong luster, and sharp strike. This is why third-party certification is so critical. Without professional grading, the value of a coin is uncertain, but once a grading service confirms its authenticity and condition, buyers gain confidence to bid high prices. The story of the 2013 P Mint Mark $quarter coin is also a reminder that modern coins can achieve legendary status. Many people assume only older coins from the 1800s or early 1900s are worth life-changing sums, but the truth is modern issues can be just as valuable, especially when scarcity, condition, and collector demand align perfectly. The 2013 P quarter proves this point beyond doubt. If we think ahead to the future, the potential value of this coin may continue to rise as time passes. Fewer flawless examples remain in collectors' hands. Some may be lost, damaged, or simply never reappear on the market. This natural reduction in supply combined with growing demand could mean the $34,765 price tag may only be the beginning. In another decade, it is possible that this coin could reach even higher figures, especially if the popularity of coin collecting continues to expand globally. For new collectors watching this video, the lesson is clear: always check your change, always pay attention to mint marks, dates, and condition, because treasures like the 2013 P Mint Mark $quarter could be hiding where you least expect them. For experienced collectors, the coin stands as both a challenge and an opportunity. It is a challenge to locate in top grade and an opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history that few others will ever possess. As we near the end of this detailed discussion, let us reflect on what makes coins so powerful. They are more than metal discs with numbers and images. They are small pieces of history, art, and culture. They carry stories of people, places, and events that shaped a nation. The 2013 P quarter tells the story of American landscapes, monuments, and resilience, while also proving that even modern circulating coins can hold astonishing value. So the next time you look at your pocket change, remember that hidden among ordinary coins could be one of the rarest and most valuable quarters of the modern era. The 2013 P Mint Mark $quarter coin, with its incredible current market value of $34,765, stands as proof that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Thank you for staying with me through this long and detailed exploration of the 2013 P Mint Mark $quarter coin history and value. Make sure to share this video with friends and family who might be interested in coins. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a deep dive into one very special coin that has caught the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters all around the world. This is none other than the 2016 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. Now you may be wondering how a coin minted just a few years ago could already have such a fascinating history, and how it could be valued at an astonishing $43,234 in the current market. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of why this coin matters, how it connects to American history, what makes it so valuable, and what every collector should know about it. Let us begin with the origins of the Washington quarter itself. The $quarter first appeared in the year 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. Sculptor John Flanagan designed the iconic portrait of Washington that still graces the front of the coin today. Over the decades, the Washington quarter has become more than just a piece of currency. It has become an important cultural symbol in the United States. Generations of Americans have carried quarters in their pockets without realizing the stories that some of these coins hold. By the year 2016, the United States Mint was already deep into one of its most ambitious coin programs ever attempted. This was the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and continued through 2021. Each year, a set of 5 new designs was issued, each one representing a national park or historic site from a different state or territory. The year 2016 was an especially important year in this series because the designs chosen highlighted sites of both natural beauty and historic importance. The coins released in 2016 included Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap National Historical Park in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Every one of these coins carried its own unique design on the reverse side, while the obverse side still featured the classic portrait of George Washington. The mint marks for these coins varied depending on where they were struck. Coins with the letter D were minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado. That is where our coin of focus today, the 2016 D quarter dollar, comes into the spotlight. Now, why would a 2016 D quarter dollar be worth such a massive figure as $43,234 when millions of these coins were minted and still circulate in change today? The answer lies in rarity, condition errors, and collector demand. Let us unpack these factors one by one in detail. First, we look at mintage. The Denver Mint struck millions of quarters in 2016, but not all coins leave the mint in the same way. Some coins are struck with special dies, some are produced in limited runs, and some have slight differences that later become incredibly important. Even a small difference in the strike can turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's dream. Second, we consider condition. Professional coin grading services play a major role in the modern coin market. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state 70 representing a flawless coin. The 2016 D quarter that has fetched such a high value is one that has been preserved in extraordinary condition, perhaps even at the highest mint state levels. When collectors compete for top quality coins, the prices can soar to levels that seem unbelievable for a modern piece of circulating currency. Third, we need to talk about errors. Some of the most valuable coins in existence today owe their worth not to perfection but to imperfection. Coins struck off-center, double die errors, missing letters, or unusual marks can drive value into the thousands or tens of thousands. Reports have circulated of certain 2016 D quarters that display striking anomalies, whether it be doubling on the lettering, unusual die cracks, or other flaws that make them stand out from the millions of regular strikes. These errors transform what looks like a common coin into something one of a kind. Beyond these technical reasons, there is also the human side of collecting. Every coin tells a story. The America the Beautiful Quarters program was designed not only to celebrate history and geography but also to spark excitement among collectors both new and experienced. When a collector finds a flawless or unusual 2016 D quarter, it is not just about owning metal, it is about owning a piece of a larger narrative. This emotional connection fuels demand, and demand pushes values higher and higher. Now let us step back and examine the Denver Mint itself. The Denver Mint is one of the most famous mints in the United States. It began operating in 1906, and since then it has produced billions upon billions of coins. The D Mint mark has become instantly recognizable among collectors. Coins from Denver are generally well struck and widely distributed across the western United States. But occasionally the Denver Mint has produced some of the most valuable coins in American history due to minting quirks or exceptionally low surviving populations of certain issues. Thus, it is not surprising that a Denver minted quarter could rise to incredible value under the right conditions. The year 2016 also carried significance in American society. It was a year of major political and cultural change. Collectors often find that coins minted in notable years carry added symbolic weight. Owning a coin from 2016 is not just about owning metal, it is about remembering the events and atmosphere of that year. Combine that symbolism with rarity, condition, and collector demand, and suddenly a modern coin transforms into a treasure. Let us also consider the economics of coin collecting. The coin market is driven by supply and demand. When a very small number of flawless or error examples of a coin are available, and when thousands of collectors want to own them, the price rises dramatically. This is how a coin with a face value of just 25 cents can end up being valued at $43,234. Auctions have demonstrated this time and again. Collectors bid against one another passionately, driving the final sale prices into the stratosphere. Imagine for a moment finding one of these coins in your change. It may look ordinary at first glance, but upon closer inspection you realize it has the D Mint mark, it has sharp details it has nowhere, and it may even display an unusual strike characteristic. In that moment you could be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. This possibility excites collectors everywhere, and it is one of the reasons coin hunting has become such a popular hobby in recent years. As we continue, let us explore each of the 5 2016 quarter designs more closely, since any one of them in D mint state condition could be the coin in question. The Shawnee National Forest quarter depicts a majestic rock formation known as Camel Rock surrounded by lush forest. The Cumberland Gap quarter shows a frontiersman looking across the gaps, symbolizing the gateway to the west. The Harper's Ferry quarter features John Brown's fort, the site of his famous raid before the Civil War. The Theodore Roosevelt quarter depicts Roosevelt on horseback surveying the land that would later become part of his conservation legacy. And the Fort Moultrie quarter shows Sergeant William Jasper heroically returning the regimental flag under fire in 1776. Each design carries deep meaning, and when paired with rarity, these coins become not just currency but pieces of American storytelling struck in metal. The lesson here is clear. The 2016 D quarter dollar coin, valued at over $43,000, is more than just money. It is art, it is history, it is rarity, and it is passion combined into one small object. Collectors around the world chase after coins like this because they represent the possibility of discovering treasure in everyday life. A coin in your pocket or hidden in a jar of spare change could hold more value than you ever imagined. So what should you do if you think you may have one of these coins? First, handle it with care. Do not clean it, as cleaning can reduce value dramatically. Second, have it examined by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate it, grade it, and if it is truly special, they will encapsulate it to preserve it. Third, keep an eye on auction results. Coin values fluctuate with the market and demand, so understanding the current trends is important. Before we wrap up, let us reflect on the extraordinary journey of the quarter dollar. From its first issue in 1932 to celebrate George Washington to the modern America, the beautiful series The Quarter has been a constant companion to the American people. Yet within this constant flow of metal, a few coins emerge as rare and valuable gems. The 2016 D Mint Mark quarter dollar is one of those gems, and its story is still being written by collectors and enthusiasts like you. Remember, coins are more than just change. They are history in your hand. They are reminders of the past and investments in the future. And sometimes, just sometimes, they are worth more than you could possibly imagine. Thank you for joining me on this deep exploration of the 2016 D Mint Mark quarter dollar coin, its history, and its remarkable current market value of $43,234. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the coins that hide in plain sight. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of pocket change. The story of the 2018 D Mint Mark quarter dollar coin is not just about a simple piece of American currency. It is about the history, the production, the collector's passion, and the shocking market value that has now reached $65,765. Today we are going to dive deep into the details of this coin. We will uncover the history of the United States Mint, its Denver facility, the significance of the mint mark, the design of the coin, and why this particular issue has become such a rare treasure worth an incredible fortune. Let us begin by looking at the origins of the quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has been an essential part of American money since the very early years of the United States. It was first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, which established the U.S. Mint and laid the foundation for the coins that Americans would use in everyday commerce. The quarter was designed to be worth 25 cents or 1/4 of a dollar, and over the years it has taken many forms, from the early draped bust quarters to the seated Liberty, the Barber, the Standing Liberty, and the famous Washington quarters. In 1932, the United States Mint introduced the Washington quarter to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. This design proved to be so popular that it continued year after year and became the long-running face of the quarter dollar. For decades, people saw the image of Washington on the front of their quarters and the bald eagle on the reverse side representing American pride, strength, and freedom. Now let us move forward to 2018. The year 2018 was part of the America the Beautiful Quarter program, which was launched in 2010. This program was designed to celebrate national parks, forests, monuments, and historic sites across the country. Each year, 5 new designs were released, each representing a different location in the United States. And the program continued until 2021, when 56 different locations had been honored. The 2018 coins included Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, Cumberland Island National Seashore in Georgia, and Block Island National Wildlife Refuge in Rhode Island. The 2018 D Mint Mark quarters were produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has been a vital facility in American coinage since 1906 and is recognized by the D Mint mark, which appears on coins struck there. While millions of 2018 quarters were minted in Denver, most of them entered everyday circulation and were spent, traded, and handled like ordinary change. What makes some of these coins different is that a handful of rare varieties, minting errors, and high-quality specimens have been identified by collectors and grading experts. These rare coins have fetched astonishing prices at auctions and in private sales. The specific 2018 D Mint Mark $quarter coin that has been valued at $65,765 is not an ordinary coin. This value is connected to a rare combination of conditions, including perfect mint state, quality, special minting errors, and the overall demand from passionate collectors. Coins that achieve very high grades from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command unbelievable prices because collectors are always in search of the best and most flawless examples. Now let us discuss why collectors place such a high value on these coins. A coin is judged by several important factors. The first is its rarity. The fewer examples that exist in perfect condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. The second is demand. If collectors across the country, or even across the world, are interested in a specific year, a mint mark, or a variety, the competition drives the price higher. The third factor is the grade. A coin graded as MS67, MS68, or even MS69 is a stunning example with nearly perfect features and a shining, brilliant surface. These grades represent the top fraction of coins that survive in pristine condition. In the case of the 2018 D Mint Mark quarter, certain coins have surfaced with rare errors. Some have double die obverse features where the design elements appear doubled. Others may show off center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual markings from the minting process. While to the average eye these might look like defects, to a coin collector these errors represent uniqueness, rarity, and historical value. Each one of these errors is like a fingerprint. No two are exactly the same, and that makes them especially desirable. Imagine you are holding a simple $quarter coin in your hand. Most people would use it in a vending machine, at a parking meter, or to buy a small item at a store, but to a coin collector that same quarter might be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even more. This is the exciting world of numismatics, where history, art, and economics all collide in the tiny space of a coin. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins over the decades, and the 2018 quarters are just one chapter in this long story. Yet out of these billions, only a handful rise to the level of extraordinary rarity and value. The coin valued at $65,765 is one of those special cases. It shows us that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places. You could check your loose change right now and perhaps discover a coin that is not just worth 25 cents but a life-changing fortune. As we move deeper into this story, let us explore how coins achieve their value in the market. The numismatic market is influenced by auctions, by private sales, by collector clubs, and by online trading platforms. Collectors bid against each other, driving up the price of rare coins. The history of record-breaking coin sales proves just how passionate people are about owning a piece of history. For example, rare pennies, nickels, and dimes have sold for millions, and quarters are no exception. This 2018 D Mint Mark quarter joins a long list of coins that stun the world with their value. It is also important to understand the emotional connection collectors feel. Coins are not just metal discs, they represent the history of a nation, the artistry of designers and engravers, and the memories of people who once used them in daily life. The 2018 quarter, featuring natural landmarks, captures the beauty of the American landscape and combines it with the heritage of American coinage. This combination of beauty, history, and rarity is What makes certain examples priceless? Let us also not forget the role of coin grading companies. Without the work of organizations like PCGS and NGC, collectors would not have a trusted standard to measure the quality and authenticity of their coins. When a 2018 D Mint Mark quarter is submitted for grading, it is carefully examined under magnification. Its luster, strike details, and any possible errors are documented. If the coin is given a grade of MS68 or higher, it immediately becomes a candidate for extremely high value. Because so few coins ever achieve this near perfect grade, the competition among collectors drives the price to levels like $65,765. Now think about the journey of such a coin. It was minted in Denver in 2018. It may have been part of a large shipment intended for circulation, yet somehow it survived without scratches, without wear, and without the damage that usually happens when coins are tossed in pockets, purses, and cash registers. It may have been set aside by chance or by someone who noticed its beauty early on. Years later, when submitted to grading, it emerged as a stunning near-perfect example. The story of survival adds to the mystery and value of the coin for coin hunters and treasure seekers. This story is inspiring. It reminds us that even today, with modern minting technology, rare and valuable coins can still appear in everyday change. People search rolls of quarters from banks hoping to discover hidden treasures. They check pocket change and vending machines. They study mint marks, dates, and designs, hoping for that one coin that could change their lives. In conclusion, the 2018 D Mint Mark $quarter coin is a modern treasure. Its history is tied to the America the Beautiful quarter program, its minting at the Denver facility, and the passionate world of coin collecting. Its value of $65,765 proves that rarity, condition, and demand can transform a simple coin into a fortune. For those who love history, for those who love collecting, and for those who dream of discovering hidden wealth, this coin is a shining example that the adventure continues right in the palm of your hand. So next time you see a 2018 D Mint Mark quarter, do not just pass it off as pocket change. Look closer, because it might just be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence today. You have learned about its history, its significance, and its incredible market value. Keep your eyes open, treasure hunters, because fortune could be hiding in plain sight, and maybe the next legendary coin will be discovered by you.